So earlier this year, CarPro released a new product. This is Spotless 2.0. This isn't part of SEMA's recent releases over the last week. This is something that has now been around for about 6-7 months, at least here in New Zealand. And it's an upgrade to the product that we previously were not really using because we found it really average, which is Spotless. But this product here is, I've been quite impressed by it. So I've used it very sparingly. As you can see, hardly anything's gone from the bottle. So my experience is about 20 or 30 mils in. But I've found this to be far superior than Spotless 1. And I was telling Glenn, who's behind the camera right now, just how fantastic I thought this product worked, particularly on glass water spots. So if you come behind us here, we've got a bit of an example today. And the purpose of today's video is showing Glenn in particular, but also you guys as the audience, what Spotless 2.0 looks like on glass. So we've got a Ford Mondeo here. What do you reckon about those water spots?
Well, I turned up just before and I looked at this and I was like, oh, this was already prepped for me.
Yeah, with a 50-50?
Check out the 50-50 garage.
So it's actually pretty decent on this privacy glass at the back. You can see decent in the sense
I think it highlights it's a lot easier on the privacy glass, you're right.
It does. These are really hard water spots. This glass has been cleaned. So this is clean glass right now, unfortunately.
But you've got water spots absolutely everywhere on this car.
Oh, on this car here, nothing's been done with this. This is a recent pickup. We talked about this in one of the recent videos. This replaced the MG. In one, because it can tow, and two, because the MG felt like we were going to die every time we were out in that, trying to pull out in front of traffic.
I'm going to be straight up. I've never had any luck with water spot removal products. Bearing in mind I haven't tried a lot, but it seems to be that thing, oh, nothing ever really gets rid of water spots.
No, it doesn't, and I was skeptical, but when CarPro came out with their new product range last year, we decided as Omni Garage, hey, let's buy them all. We won't necessarily set out to try and test them as soon as they arrive, but just as the need arises, we'll give it a go. And when I saw
I can tell you now that Spotless, the Spotless, not Spotless 2.0, but Spotless, doesn't work.
So the way that these work, Spotless 1 is essentially a formula that you can spray directly onto the surface. So it says on the bottle here, shake well, spray over the surface, work in the solution, wipe off with a microfiber, rinse with water, repeat steps if needed. The dwell time on this one here was recommended that you didn't leave this on for over a minute. In particular on glass surfaces, do not apply to hot glass. Spotless 2.0, one of the differences in here is they've gone way stronger with the chemicals in here. Although, in saying that, it's saying allow 30 to 60 seconds for it to break down mineral deposits. Do not let it dry, but do not leave for over 2 minutes on surfaces.
So it gives you a bit more dwell time.
It does give you a bit more dwell time, which is really interesting given that this is a more, I guess, potent
Yeah, how does that work? More dwell
this.
time plus stronger chemical. You'd think you'd want to get it off quicker, but obviously not.
Potentially that's where I'm getting the better results out of this. So what I'll do, I think we've done enough talking about these. Let's show you Spotless 1.0 on half of this glass, and we'll just bring you along and show you how poor this does really before we bring this out and show you how good it can look and how easy it can be to get water spots out. Because looking at this is polishing, right?
Yeah, I would polish that. Yeah, probably with a rayon pad.
Seri glass, rayon pad. Yeah, another CarPro
product.
product.
You might get away with a normal pad and some normal cut compound.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, you would just not even waste your time and you just go straight to.
Yeah, I didn't even think if a car showed up like this, I'll just go straight to cutting with a pad.
And bearing in mind, by the time you spray that product on there, let it dwell, buff it off, be sort of 50% happy with the result, you might as well get your polishing machine out and polish it off.
Polish it off, yeah, absolutely.
Probably the way to go, but spray it on and see what happens.
Yeah.
Have you tried this on paint?
I haven't tried this on paint. So today's video is not going to be about how this reacts on paint. I don't know how that's going to go. We don't really have any water spots that we can perform that on at the moment. And that's kind of the way that we want to test out these products. We don't want to artificially create problems and then try and find solutions to them. We just want to use this in and about the normal way that we go day to day.
Can you put the Spotless 1 on the left side and then 2.0 on the right?
I can. So a couple
it makes sense in my mind.
Couple of 1 and 2. Couple of ways that you can use this. So you can spray it across the surface or you can spray it directly into a towel. I don't really care about runoff on here. It doesn't really bother me. This car has had nothing done to it, but I think if you're working with a ceramic coated car, something where you've got water spots here but everything else is pristine,
you want to
probably want to work it in, with a towel. So we're just going to spray this.
Does it smell real bad?
Spotless? Not really. I don't know. Go have a smell.
It did have like does it have a lemon scent? Did I think it had a lemon scent?
I wouldn't call that a lemon scent. It's not terrible.
No, it does. It has a citrus underline, but it's
Okay.
quite chemically. And I think this here is even pretty similar, isn't it?
I don't know off the top of my head. What's that?
They both smell the same.
Okay. So they've got the same,
They maintain the scent.
same fragrance in the two products. Now what we're going to do with that on the surface is we're going to leave
they
it.
smell the same.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Smells the same? Okay,
Yeah.
so you keep the same
Smells
fragrance.
like I remember, yep.
So we're just going to leave this on the surface for a little bit, and then what I am going to do is spray some into a towel and work it into the surface as well. So this is hopefully breaking down the mineral deposits on there, and then we'll spray it into the towel, work it into the surface a bit more, use a little bit of elbow grease with it before we then go and rinse it off. I'm just using circular motions on here, something you don't want to really do on any other surface of your car other than your glass. The whole idea here is just to work this into the surface. It's still out on there for well over a minute now, and this product does say don't leave for more than a minute on Spotless 1.0.
So you've already failed the first step.
I have failed the first step, but we are working in really cool conditions tonight, so I'm not too concerned there. And then what you're told to do is come along with a wet microfiber and rinse it off the surface.
Oh yeah, you can you can tell on here there's.
Well, I mean, you can see with that disappearing there that it's not really doing the intended purpose. So that's just a wet microfiber, just taking the residual off the surface. And then come along with another dry towel and we'll dry it off.
Oh no. Oh no. It's like that, you know, TikTok. Oh no. Oh no.
no.
No. No.
So watch that dry
Yep. Okay.
and have a look at what little difference that
you
made.
can see that flashing over, and yeah, it's really clear on here. Those water spots have, I would say, not gone anywhere.
No.
So at this point, you'd be really annoyed. You'd go, oh, what do I do? And you'd probably try on all these other chemicals that you got in your garage. But at this point, you'd probably want to get out your polisher and polish those off.
And this is why we haven't used Spotless 1.0. It's been around, that bottle, probably for 2 or 3 years. And it's just not something that we've relied on because I don't feel like it's done a
see if
good
we
job.
can get them in the light there. It is struggling there, but oh, yeah. And then coming over to here, kind of looks the same.
Yeah, very, very similar. So what we'll do now...
I'd be disappointed with that.
Oh, and then we have been, hence why we haven't been using that product. So we've got Spotless 2.0 here. And we'll let this dwell for a bit longer, keeping in mind it is not a flat surface as well, so you're going to get a lot more pooling at the bottom. So you probably do want to top up what you've got on the top there to give it that time to actually work in. Then we wait.
So what do you reckon of the new CarPro products being released this year in SEMA?
Well, you text me this week, I've been away this week, and asked me if I'd seen them, and I haven't, and I still haven't. So I'm quite excited. I did a quick Google search, and all I could find was 2 products. There was some... I can't even remember what they were, but
so a product, I don't know the names, I can never remember the names, but they got this new product that if you'd put a new coating on your car, and for us, you know how we coat and then the customer comes and picks it up pretty much that afternoon.
Yep.
Well, they have this product that you can spray on, kind of like a bead make application.
Yeah.
But it basically sets the product ready so that the customer can pick it up straight away.
oh, okay, so it improves the curing time.
Well, I
so
don't
you're not needing to leave it
necessarily
sit.
mean that it improves the curing time, but it sort of just gives it that top layer. It's
Okay.
a real weak top layer, but it just basically sets it and this allows the customer to take it away that day.
Is that to be used for just in that purpose, or it can be used like a bead maker application?
They say primarily for that purpose.
Okay.
But people say, oh, well, you could use it. It's kind of like Reload, right? So Reload's
yep.
a bit of a more durable product, lasts
Yep.
a bit longer, right. It's like a weak version of Reload.
Okay.
Just means that you can top it on, may or may not help with curing time. I'm not sure about the details of that. It's basically...
It's a tough one to tell because a customer could drive that car out immediately,
Yeah.
right? And
but it just means
that
that when you've put on that coating, you can
Yep.
put that product on, the customer can go away, and it gives them a little bit of protection just while that's... You know how like you usually got to wait 12, 24 hours before it cures?
we like to do that, don't we?
Yeah.
Give it some time.
So that's one product that quite interests me, and it would only be for detailing shops really, and for people who have got customers picking up cars. So that's good for us, something I'd like to try out.
So what I'm doing here is just the same process, working this in. I think something that I found
Seems to
about
be a
this
lot-
product, yeah, what's your impression?
It looks to be a lot more foamy.
Yep. So I definitely found that it foamed more
And
than 1.0.
yeah.
And I mean, it's a changed formula, so there's something in there that's foaming more. I might have sprayed a little bit more product, but I think it foams more as it comes out of the bottle as well. I
Yeah.
don't think it's just because we've got a little bit more product.
And
here.
although the sprays are different colours, they look like they're probably the same junky CarPro sprayer.
Yeah, they're not particularly great, but that Spotless one's lasted quite a while.
It seems to look like you get more mileage out of it, you know, that sort of... And it seems like it hangs around on that glass a lot better.
I don't think it flashes off as quick.
Oh yeah, it looks slicker. And so CarPro brought out a new tyre dressing.
Okay, another one. Is it maintenance tyre dressing, or is it more of a long-term?
It's like a long term, so it's in between Pearl
Yep.
and their tyre coating that they have.
Okay.
So it'd be interesting to see how well it goes. It's meant to last like a couple of months or so.
Well, as soon as that arrives in New Zealand, we'll pick up both of those. What else have they got?
I think they might have a Reload 2.0,
Okay.
which is, you know, that we've tried Reload before, but it's the usual Reload's quite hard to work with. Flash can be a bit hard because
Reload's quite a potent chemical too, I find. Like
yeah,
it's got
and you've got to
really
work
particular
with
smell
it,
to
and it leaves high spot, or not high spots, but leaves residue behind. As you know, it's hard to work with. You really got to rub it in. So yeah, interested to see how those couple of products go. I think there's a new there's a new fabric cleaner. They have a fabric coating.
Okay.
It's a fabric coating, which I'm not too excited about. Fabric coatings.
No, not coatings, but definitely cleaners. That's something that we want to explore a little bit. Come along and have a look at that.
Far out. So there is streaking there because you've just quickly cleaned it.
Yeah, so that should flash. Actually, I'll give it another quick wipe. Get rid of some of the streaking.
But
It needs a bit more.
I think we're going to struggle to see a water spot on there.
How incredible is that? Even
So
if
that's a real quick clean. You haven't got into the corners. So
no,
just,
no, this
look,
is superficial.
if we
This
go
is
right,
a quick clean.
If we go right through the middle of this, and then come up to this side, so there you can see water spots, which was the old version, and then this is 2.0.
We'll pull this away as well. I'll quickly wipe around that area.
Wow, yeah, you've sold me on that. That's good, real good.
Like for the minimal effort that we just put into that, and how quick that process was as well.
So if you're real particular, you could give this another go, and you could really clean this up, and maybe you'd want to wash your car after you've done this. But just now that we've been chatting away here, so look at that.
I think on the scale of how bad water spots are too, this started out really, really bad. So if you had really mild water spots, or you had only inflicted the water spots, you know, within a short time frame, so let's say they got in there last week, or you've just done a wash and you've got some water spots in the glass, I think that, I mean, these have been baked on here for who knows how many years.
Probably ever.
And I mean, that result to me, that is incredible for how quick we managed to do that.
But not only is that water spots, that's probably like baked on soap scum, you know, when people
it's
are
all
washing their
sorts.
driveway in the sun.
Yeah.
So it's all that sort of stuff. And
I mean, you can feel the difference here as well. So if you run your finger along there,
oh yeah, hold this.
so just have a feel of it.
Oh yeah.
Like that has done a great job at eating away at the
It's even got
scum,
that-
at the
that-
minerals.
It's even got that like sound to it, you know, when you like rub
It does. So what do you reckon?
Yeah.
Spotless 1 was a product that I would never ever recommend to someone.
No.
I struggled to get through that bottle as well. You'd borrowed it a few times to get rid of water spots. And
I had
you
tried on fenders and stuff, and I probably put more scratches into the paint than I removed water spots.
Yep.
But at the time, I just give it a nudge. And
I mean, I can see that behind you really clearly in the camera right now, just the difference between that left and the right. Like, it's night and day.
there is still some deep etching on here, don't get me wrong, like, but I'm using a light, so this is not
But in the past, this is a type of vehicle that we wouldn't have even bothered trying a water spot remove. We would have just gone, nah, that needs polishing. And we would have spent, to do that same little area there, at least 15 to 20 minutes on the polisher.
Yep.
To do something that we did in about 3-4 minutes with this product.
So this is a real bad spot here that you can see on camera. But if you do shine the light on here, you do see water etching. And so I suppose if you wanted to take that further again, you'd probably need a polish here. But I mean, as a real quick treatment, one chemical, spray on. It's basically spray on, wipe off.
Spray on, wipe off. Working a little bit. I mean, we put a bit of elbow grease in there, but no more
And even looking
than...
up like really close here, you can see the etching. But if you stand back here, you can't. And so I think that's a huge step up from CarPro to go from Spotless to Spotless 2.0. This is a product I would recommend, absolutely.
This is a pretty reasonably priced product as well. So I'm not 100% sure on the exact prices. You can buy it in 500ml, 1 litre, and they also sell it in a gallon at pretty reasonable prices. To be honest, I think this is something that I'd buy in a gallon. It'd be around for a very long time, but I know that I could rely on it, particularly on glass.
This is something that will get you out of jail, yeah.
Oh,
on
absolutely.
glass, definitely. We need to see what it's like on paint. But this is a product I think we're going to have for when those customers do come in with real hard water spots and we're struggling to get them off.
So what we might do, as I said, we're not going to try and create some fake results. We're not going to go in and flick water spots in order to remove them on paint. But when we do get water spots on some paint, we'll come back, we'll check in with another video and show you exactly what that looks like. But otherwise, that's another Omni Garage video. So CarPro Spotless 2.0, highly recommended. If someone asks me what can I do about water spots, this is the first step that I would
That's the product I would buy.
Yeah.
I'd go get a litre of that and I would, because I mean, this is real easy to use. Like, there's nothing special about how to use this. Anyone can go and grab this. There's no special technique or anything like that. Just exactly what we've done has got results here. So I'm really happy about that. Yeah, nice, fine, well done.
It's very, very rare that you find a product like this, especially an evolution over something that was already out there that we don't think was very good at all. So I mean, that's gone now. There's no need for us to keep that around because Spotless 2.0, this is going to be a staple in terms of water spot removers. And it's nice because we didn't have a water spot remover that we could rely on in the past. It wasn't necessarily something that we would have or recommend on the shelf. We just moved straight into polishing. So Spotless 2.0 for us is going to be that product that is staple in our collection until we find something that is better than this. We do need to try it out on paint, so do check in at some point. We will make that video once we've got something to actually show you. So there you have it. Quick little video, Spotless 2.0 from CarPro. We're really excited to try out the next lineup of CarPro products that just came out at SEMA. I'm sure off camera now, Glenn will tell me a bit more about those and I'll go and do a bit of research, but as soon as those are in the country, we'll pick them up as well. And as soon as we've got a reason to show them to you, we'll bring you along the journey. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, stay tuned, heaps more content to come over the coming months from Omni Garage. Thank you so much for watching, catch you in the next one.